It is like Christmas here at the shop. Today we have two of Porsche's 2018 track monsters with us. We have the 2018 GT3RS non-WISEC package, and we have the monster of all Porsches. We have the 2018 Gt2 Rs with the WISEC package. Now, before we get into the details and the differences between both of these cars, I just wanted to share with you Nürburgring ring times. Now, the ring is kind of the placeholder or the stepping stone performance-wise of where a supercar fits in the lineup. So manufacturers send these 7-figure vehicles out to the ring, and they hope for that 7-minute threshold. Okay, that's been a long-standing goal, and really that's kind of the bar or the over-under on who the players are out in the world. Both of these cars smashed that 7-minute mark this year, which is absolutely unbelievable. And just to put that into comparison, for roughly $350,000 and roughly $225,000 to have a 6-minute and 47-second Gt2 RS time and a 6-minute and 56-second 3RS time, that beat the McLaren P1, it beat the original Porsche 918, and the LaFerrari never even posted a time. So we have 7-figure vehicles, and these two little guys come out here that you can buy 2 of each and put them together and still run the black American Express card for less money than one of those cars, and they kicked the snot out of everything else on the road. The only thing, arguably, that posted a better time that is not released yet is the Lamborghini SVJ. Without getting too far down the rabbit hole, there's a couple questions about the tires that were used and whether there were 2 seats in the car or whatever it is. I don't want to get myself in trouble. These are just things that are on forums and whatnot. But even with that, we're talking about 2.5 seconds between the difference in speeds. So as far as I'm concerned, if there's 2 rich Germans sitting at a pub somewhere out there at the ring arguing over 1.5 seconds or 2 seconds, those are what I would call rich people problems, and I hope one day I'm having the same conversation. So with that said, most people cannot tell the differences between the 2 vehicles. So what we wanted to do today is we wanted to highlight what the differences were between the 2. We specifically chose one with a WISEC package and one without, so you guys could see what that option looks like. But also, as we get into the details, you'll see that about 80%, at least from what I can tell, of the body panels are exactly the same on the car. So in my opinion, I think that the 3 got a tremendous help from its bigger brother and the technology, and I think Porsche put a tremendous amount of this amazing technology into this supercar as well. So we're going to dig in and go over a few of the items, and just I guess to go back to this ring and put one more thing in perspective. If you're a supercar follower, you guys all know what the Pagani Zonda R is. It's a $3 million carbon fiber, amazing. This thing looks like a shark. It is the epitome of all racing cars. It is mind-boggling how beautiful this car is. $3 million, and it posted the exact same time that this $350,000 baby did. The difference is that this has a navigation system and a cup holder so you can find a Starbucks. So it's street legal. The Zonda R is not, but I just wanted to put that in comparison, that we're talking about 8, maybe 9 of these in the garage versus one Zonda R. So with all that said, let's dig in. I'm excited to show you guys both of these. They are similar in looks, but they are very different monsters. We've got a 4-liter standard straight 6, and we've got a 3.8-liter V6 with twin turbos on it. So we're pushing 700 horsepower over here, and we're pushing right around 520 over here. So they each have their own uniqueness to it. This car is extremely exclusive. All of these are gone. I don't know about a production cap on this one, so as far as I know, they're continuing to make more. Maybe there'll be some lucky viewers that'll be able to get your hands on some, and you can comment on what you think as well. So let's jump in, let's go over both cars. You guys can decide in the end if you think that this guy is worth $125,000 more, and we'll go ahead and dive in. Disclosure here, I'm not a Porsche mechanic or engineer. I'm an enthusiast. This is my favorite brand of cars, so I'm not going to be getting into the molecular structure of the magnesium or how many wires are in each harness. I'm going to go over the things that I think are important to you folks, the things that I love about the uniqueness of each car, and then we can get into splitting hairs later. Okay, so here we are outside with the 2018 GT3RS. We brought it out here so we can do a walk around and show you guys some of the differences here. These are two completely different types of cars. So one is turbo and one's non-turbo. The 3RS is a 4-liter straight 6 engine that's non-turbo, and it has 520 horsepower. So it's an absolute track monster, and it's extremely fun to drive. It doesn't quite have as much carbon fiber on it, and there are a few little subtle differences that make this a little smoother and more refined, not as rough and aggressive looking as the GT2 RS. So starting with the bumper, because we don't have to power turbos and get airflow in there, the intakes on the front bumper of the 3RS are much smaller. When you see the 2RS, you'll notice there's just monster air intakes to fuel the intercoolers. So we're a little bit sleeker, a little bit smaller and more compact. We've got some accessorizing around the outside edges. We're missing a little bit of carbon fiber on the top here of the air intake on the 3 versus the 2. We've got the LED lighting. There's a xenon lighting that's an upgrade that's on the 2RS that we'll be able to show you guys later. And with the non-WISEC package, you've got a completely painted carbon fiber hood. Now, the WISEC package is an upgrade. It's a racing upgrade where most of it's cosmetic, in my opinion, with the exception of on the 2RS, it comes with the magnesium wheels. The upgrade on the 2RS is roughly $31,000, where the upgrade on the 3RS is closer to about $20,000. The other main difference on the 3RS is that the 3RS comes standard with a magnesium roof. The 2RS has a carbon fiber roof. So if you're converting your 3RS at the factory to a 2RS, to a WISEC package, then the roof would actually get changed out to carbon fiber, and then you would have the paint scheme that shows you the visible carbon on the outsides with the color going down the center. So the roof would actually change out. So the largest price difference is mainly because of the magnesium racing wheels. So looking at the rear quarter panel, the doors, the fenders, with the exception of the larger air intake on the 2RS, all of this looks the same to me. When you get up front again to the levers here, this is to let air circulation escape from the wheelhouse. So it's not necessarily hot air, it's circulating air. And if we have these levers on top, I was told once the air escapes, it actually creates additional downforce. So on the 3RS, we're using lightweight plastic. On the 2RS, we're back to carbon fiber. So a lot more carbon fiber on the 2RS. We head back here. The air intake on the rear quarter panel is plastic instead of carbon. And as we come around to the back, because this is a non-WISEC panel, this is painted. If you got the upgrade for this, like you'll see on the 2RS, this comes in carbon fiber with the black Porsche sticker across the top. From the back, if I'm driving behind one of these cars, it's really the fastest way that I can tell. You know, center exhaust is going to be your 3RS, and then your exterior exhaust pipes are obviously the turbo. And then up here on the deck lid, because the turbo needs so much more air, there are large carbon intakes here. So, and again, if you get the WISEC package, the spoiler comes in carbon. I'm not sure why. Maybe somebody can give us some feedback or fill us in. But the spoiler end tips are different on the 3 versus the 2. In a nutshell, these are the main differences. The inside is virtually the same. This one's lizard green, obviously, and it's an amazing color. And ironically, it's the only color that you cannot have in the 2RS. For the most part, all the colors are the same. You get your GT silver, your chalk, your lava orange, your Miami blue as special color upgrades. And your standard colors on both cars are your white, your black, guards red, and racing yellow. Okay, and here we are with the Porsche of all Porsches. This is the monster, the 2018 GT2 RS. As far as I know, this is the fastest street legal Porsche that has ever been made. So if we come back over here to the front bumper and we remember the things on the 3RS, you can see here just to start how large this air intake is. And again, the size of these is purely just to feed air into these intercoolers and keep that turbo happy. So we've got massive air intakes. We've got an LED bar above this, and we've got carbon fiber trim on the top. We've got the upgraded xenon lights, and then we've got the exposed carbon fiber on the WISIC package. So from just the looks alone, this car looks so much meaner. It's an amazing color. This car actually belongs to a customer of ours, Graham Ray Hall. He has an amazing performance shop in Indiana, Graham Ray Hall Performance, and he's an incredible race car driver. So we're happy to have him as a customer, and we're even more happy that he trusts us with his amazing automobiles. We've done some other cars for him, and we're grateful to have him out here and work on all of his supercars. So if we come back over this way, you guys will notice that the louvers are carbon fiber on this, where on the 3RS they were not. I'm assuming, I don't know this right now, but I'm assuming Graham is waiting for his magnesium wheels. Evidently there was a back order problem with manufacturing, and the story that I heard was that the GT2 RS owners that upgraded to the WISIC package get to keep this set of wheels when the new set comes in. So it's a pretty good trade for waiting a couple months for the premium upgrade. So if we come back towards the middle of the car, we can just see the extra carbon fiber enhancements. Air intake on the quarter panel is carbon fiber, where everything on the RS, the 3RS was plastic. And then take a look at the roof here. This is what I was describing on the 3RS. This is exposed carbon fiber with the monochromatic stripe down the center that matches the rest of the car. It's absolutely gorgeous. You come around towards the back here, you can also see the carbon fiber spoiler that will also come with the 3RS if you do the WISIC package. But look at how large these air intakes are, again, to feed those turbos. You remember how much smaller the 3RSs were. And then if you fade back a little bit, here's the two exterior exhaust pipes that I was talking about. So this is the easiest way to tell what you're looking at when you're behind one of these monster cars. So the 3RS has got the center pipes, the 2RS has got the exterior pipes, and the 2RS has got the fatter air intakes on the top shelf there. This car is famously called the Widowmaker, just because of how much horsepower hits the rear wheels on this. It's amazing. The collectability of this car is much higher than the 3RS. This is limited production. I think there's going to be about 1,000 of these made, where to my knowledge they haven't disclosed a run production number on the 3RS, but it's certainly going to be 3, 4, 5, 6 times that, so everybody can get one of these. As a matter of fact, a lot of these owners, I don't want to say most of these owners, but a lot of these owners were on the 918 VIP program, where back in the day, before the ring time was posted on the 918 and it beat everybody else's, sales evidently were a little slow on that supercar. So they made a deal with their Porsche VIPs that if they kicked in and purchased this 918, then they would get first right of refusal on all the other supercars that came down the line. So once the other supercar manufacturers posted their times, the P1, LaFerrari with nothing, a few of the other things, prices of the 918 went up through the roof, and then they've been able to get their choice of supercars all the way back to the version 1, 3RS, and this is just going to continue on, I think, into perpetuity as long as you follow the rules. And so the people that have been lucky enough to be on that program have essentially paid for their 19s. I mean, they're free. And in a situation like this, where there's 1,000 of these that are going to be made, let's say half of them are going to exclusive 918 VIP owners. That leaves 500 cars throughout the world for normal guys that have that kind of money to try and get their hands on. So if we're talking about an investment, if we're talking about wanting the 700 horsepower, the twin turbos, if we're talking about having the fastest street legal machine that's out right now, because SVJ hasn't been released yet, this is certainly the car that someone with an abundance of money and racing interests would pick. We hope we cleared a little bit of the differences up today. Again, no question, this is the monster of all monsters, but $125,000 less, and you virtually look the same on the freeway. I don't know the last time any of you have noticed the difference between 194 miles an hour and 211. Again, they are the absolute kings of the ring. I would never question anything they did. I think they're amazing. To me, this is the greatest car in the world. We hope you guys enjoyed the video. Graham, thank you for letting us borrow your car, and I hope everybody has a great day.